Hello, this video is a tutorial to fill out your answer to an unlawful detainer, or also known as eviction case. This is specifically for California Judicial Council Form UD-105. Here's a brief disclaimer before we start. This video is produced by the self-help attorney at the Superior Court of California for Siskiyou County. This video is intended for information only. It is not meant to be advice. I do not represent people, and I am not offering legal services. Please consult a private attorney if you need assistance. Okay, with that said, let's get to the form. The top part of this form is where you will fill out your name and your address. Then this middle part here, if you are filing in Siskiyou County, which is where I am, you would write in or type. You can type or handwrite this form. Either way is fine. If you handwrite this form, please use blue ink or black ink only, and not any other color. So then our address here in Siskiyou County is 411 4th Street, Wairika 96097. Okay, the plaintiff, this is your landlord. This is the person who has filed the complaint and has had you served with the summons and complaint. If you have received a summons and complaint, you have 10 business days to file an answer. So don't miss that time. If you do not file an answer within the 10 business days, you risk the landlord entering a default judgment against you, and you may be removed from your house ultimately without a court hearing. File the answer to preserve your right to have a court hearing. So, defendant, this is you. The case number should be on those forms, and you can find it there. Okay. Again, you'll write your name here. If you are filing this on behalf of you and other individuals who live in the home, write their names here as well. Just know that everybody who files the answer or who is named on the answer must file a fee or request an individual fee waiver specific to that person. Okay, then there are some choices here. You can mark the box for general denial unless the complaint is asking for more than $1,000. You can tell that by looking towards the last page of the complaint, and there should be an indication as to whether the landlord is asking for past due rent. If there's no dollar amount given, you may check this box that basically tells the judge you disagree with everything that has been put in the complaint. Okay. If the complaint seeks more than $1,000, then you will need to mark box B. When you mark box B, then you have more choices. So your first one here under number 1 is you need to go through the complaint, and then in this space, or at least starting in this space, you need to identify everything in the complaint that is untrue or false. For example, if the complaint spells your name incorrectly, you could identify that. If the complaint says that the amount of rent every month is different than your understanding, then you can explain that. So you have to go through and tell the judge basically by writing it out, what parts of the complaint you disagree with. Okay, then under number 2 is where you will identify anything that you are not sure about. For example, if they claim that you owe $5,000 in back rent, but you're not sure if it should be $4,000 or $6,000, identify that and explain that that's just something you're not sure, that you have enough information to agree or disagree. Okay, once that part is done, it starts here under number 3, where it offers you hard-coded boxes for you to check to match what your situation is. You can go through and mark any of these or all of these that apply to you. For example, if there are problems with your house that make it so that you can't live in it or shouldn't have lived in it because maybe there's no heating, because maybe the roof is completely missing, that may be a reason for you to not have paid rent. So then you would mark the box that says the place was not habitable, and because of that, you did not pay rent. And you can just read through the list of all of these things to figure out which applies to you. When you get down to S, you can mark that box, and then in this space you can write out anything else that supports your side of the story. So there's room here for you to explain in your words what is going on and what the situation is. If you have moved out of the house, then please mark the box that says you vacated it, put the date that you vacated. This has a big impact on their ability to keep the case going. If you think that they have put a rental value that is incorrect, go ahead and mark that box and explain why. Then scrolling down, you can ask that they be ordered to make repairs. So in my earlier example where I said maybe the roof was missing, mark the box and ask that they have to put a roof on the house in order for you to continue living there and pay the rent. Then on the last page, so an unlawful detainer assistant is somebody that you have paid specifically to help you with this form. I am not that, and if you didn't pay anyone to help you with this form, then mark the box for did not. If you did pay to have somebody help you with this form, mark the box for did and identify who that person was. Then you need to sign both here and the verification here. Once this form is filled out and signed, you need to make 2 photocopies. You need to file the original and the 2 photocopies at the courthouse where the eviction case is going on. Once those are filed, you need to properly serve the landlord with a copy of your answer.